You happened to show up today on
Trump.
May 30th, 2024, and I just saw breaking news on the news channels that Donald Trump has been found guilty of all 34
all of them, dude. Who bats 1,000?
On this Stormy Daniels situation. What do you think about that?
Well, I think there's a lot of layers to this. I think the most obvious, it seems to be political attacks on an opponent, right? From the Democratic side of the Democratic city seems to be a political attack. Then there's also layers and layers below that, which is, are they trying to corral people into Donald Trump to get behind Donald Trump? There's layers to this. Like, who knows what the real line is? On the surface, it seems like to be politically motivated to make it so Trump cannot run. And that, to me, is gross. And also, the just total disrespect for the law and just the rule of court. We just start getting into a banana republic.
Yeah. Mess, huh?
It's a total mess.
I think.
But things aren't getting worse. Things are just getting more obvious.
So they've always been bad, huh?
What's that?
They've always been worse.
Yeah.
We just didn't notice it.
Yeah, we were sold that's one way. So, going back to the whole Jesus thing, I think, people always go, why does God allow this, and this to happen? And then you just discover that God isn't controlling this realm.
Right.
That he put fallen angels, Lucifer, in charge of it. And that's why things happen like that. So the whole point of what I'm trying to say is that I believe in my heart of hearts, the rules of this reality are the occult rules. Yeah. And that someone like Jesus comes out and gives you the cheat code to get to higher vibrational levels.
Do you believe that the Republicans will overreact to this and get angry and do everything that the Democrats want them to do to lock them up?
Well, there seems to be that kind of, the whole thing with January 6th was, it follows the, obviously scripted, didn't happen, kidnapping of the Michigan governor. And then the guy in the FBI that was in charge of that was brought over to January 6th, and all the footage that it was just a giant psyop.
So do you think they'll overreact, the Republicans?
Will the people overreact? I do not know. Will the controlled opposition?
I hope they don't.
Well, we'll see, dude. I mean, there's a lot of controlled ops involved in all this, right?
I know there's much more than what we see to this.
Yes, much deeper.
And one of the things that I've noticed, and I don't know if you agree with this or not, is that there is an attack upon white men, white people, period, but especially white Christian men.
Yeah, 100%.
And they are deliberately trying to get rid of them. And this attack has been going on for a long time. And I think that this is just another aspect of this attack. Because if you can take Donald Trump down, you can take anybody else down.
It is cultural Marxism.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing right here, which is if you study the Bolsheviks and you even study the Nazis, sorry everybody, but they were controlled opposition as well. So if you study them, even though they were two different operating systems, but the cultural Marxism is like cause wars between the sexes, empower the ethnic minorities, and celebrate the alternative lifestyles. And that's what you see happening in real time.
Have you noticed that white people don't have a chance in court now? You're automatically guilty if you're white. You're going to jail.
I think in high profile cases that involve political people, I would say, yeah, that happens a lot.
It's happening even lower than that. I know white guys who did a simple crime like what an average person would do. I mean, they're going to jail, but the people of color or other things, they're not going to jail.
So that's something, if you ever get a moment, you want to watch a great doc. It's called The Capitalist Conspiracy, and it's about pressure from above, pressure from below. And the whole goal is to cause so much chaos that we beg for martial law. So they don't want what they really don't want is for you to trust your eyes, your ears, or the wisdom of your experiences.
Right.
And to get because a lot of these guys are energy vampires, and they feed off our anxiety. They want us to feel anxiety. He wants to feel like
He wants to
depression,
have
sadness.
fear and stuff.
Yes, and they feed off that.
Yeah.
So they want the rule. Like if you see Boston, the mayor of Boston's like, we don't know if we should arrest people for breaking into houses.
Right.
That's done on purpose
Yeah.
to, one, tell people break into houses, and two, get people so upset and that they demand for the authorities to come and save them,
Right.
and give up their God-given their God-given rights. And I was on the Joe Rogan Experience. It was his MMA show, and I told him all the empowerment of the queer theory, which is not homosexuality, it's the queer theory, it's the weaponized version, that is going to start to go away. And what you're going to see is immigration riots. And I
Yeah.
said that about a year or so ago. And that's why all these military-age guys coming in with no women, China, Middle East, Africa, and that's going to be the next thing. And it'll probably pop off around the elections.
So, who above all the people that's being controlled, and even it seems to be even above our government, who is controlling this? Who is making all this happen?
Well, if you ask me, it's these very old banking families. You could call them the Babylonians, the Babylonian money magic families. There's a name for them. They're called the Black Nobility. Have you ever heard the Black Nobility?
No.
Yeah, nobody's ever heard the Black Nobility. That's how little they're known. There's not a rap group called Black Nobility. You think there would be one hip-hop group called Black Nobility, right?
Right.
Nobody's called that. And they're the very old banking families that have been around for centuries, if not thousands of years.
And what do they want? Why are they? What they want?
They want total 100% power. They worship dark entities. The
Oh.
oldest gods is Kronos, the god of time, and he's Baal, Moloch. They're all the same guy, and they worship him. And it's a war against God's creation. That's really what's going on right now. People always want to make this about power and money, but they create all the money, they have all the power.
Yeah.
They shut down the world. It's really a spiritual war.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
us versus dark entities, dark arts.
The voters, the people of America, don't seem to really see what's going on. They're not like paying attention, or they don't understand it's a spiritual battle, a spiritual war between good and evil, for sure. And they don't seem to know what to do, or they don't care. They just partying and being online and just making TikToks and doing all these crazy stuff. But they don't see what's really happening to them.
Yeah, I would agree in that. And what they've done is created made everybody these kind of emotional monkeys, where we just kind of all react to just like things emotionally. We don't actually think. So if you kind of take a look at all these super democratic cities, they'll never be safe because the people emotionally react. Like the theory of hate is more powerful than actual on the street consequences and actions.
Yeah.
So they'll keep voting with their hearts and not with their heads, and keep voting in the same people because the theory of hate scares them more than actual real world consequences.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Did you, speaking about Donald Trump, did you expect the verdict to be this, or did you think they would not find him guilty?
I think everything's theater, dude. I think at the highest levels, Trump plays the game with them as well. I would take Trump 1,000 times over any of the Democrats, but I don't think anyone's coming to save us. For me, I always say, I kind of look at Donald Trump as Godzilla, right? If you study the origins of Godzilla, he messes up Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
He just lights Tokyo up. But at some point, the people of Tokyo realize there's worse monsters than Godzilla, and they kind of need Godzilla. And that's kind of how I see Trump. He's not perfect. There are things that we could sit here and point out that he did. He put BlackRock in charge of the Fed. He's a Zionist. Fauci giving money to Bill Gates. There's a ton of stuff.
So were you surprised at the outcome or not?
I don't know know, man. It kind of fits into the whole theater of the situation, man. They were going to get him eventually. They kept posting up numbers, and they kept posting up these court cases, and they were losing everyone, or at least losing the outcome. And now it seems like they got him, but I don't think the case about that he's going to owe that woman money, I don't think that's going to actually go through. I don't think this case can go through based on what the judge's notes to the orders to the jury. I don't think it's going to.
And so, were you surprised or not at the
that
outcome?
he got it? I don't know, man. I can say, yeah, I got. So when I was down at the pizza shop down the street and I read it, I screamed, "Oh my God!" So yeah, I am surprised.
Oh, okay.